Hello everyone, thank you for watching my audio slides. At the end of the slides, I wish that you will gain a greater understanding of the relevance of egocentric spatial updating strategy for the acquisition of new environmental knowledge. The primary aim of this research is about creating a new navigation questionnaire with a scale for assessing the egocentric spatial updating strategy, which is presented on the next slide. Here is a schematic overview of the School of Design and Environment at the National University of Singapore. It showcases the route taken by each participant from the start to the finish. Along the way, a series of 12 landmarks were pointed out to each participant. At the end of the route, each participant first performed a route pointing direction task followed by sketch map drawing. The imaginal pointing direction task was the first task the participants performed when they returned to the lab. It required them to visualize standing at a particular location, facing another location, and then point to a third location. The 3 locations were permutations of the 12 landmarks they encountered en route to the finishing point. The landmark recognition task required participants to indicate whether or not they had seen a particular landmark en route to the finishing point. I performed principal component analysis (PCA) on the survey responses collected from the 500 participants. After 2 rounds of PCA, I found 3 dominant components that explain around 34% of the total variance. I also performed relevant varimax rotation and oblique rotations to obtain and verify the simple structure. Based on the discriminant loadings from each component, I selected 44 items to constitute the whole questionnaire. All 3 scales were found to possess high internal and test-retest reliabilities. It is worth noting that the egocentric spatial updating strategy scale contributed significant variance to route pointing, imaginal pointing, and route-based landmark recognition performance over and beyond the variance contributed by the 2 other scales. Now let's take a look at some beautiful sketch maps. Here are the 3 categories of sketch maps that were drawn by participants. Notably, egocentric survey maps were proposed to reflect a high engagement of the egocentric spatial updating strategy. ANOVA results showed that sketches of egocentric survey maps self-reported the highest level of egocentric spatial updating strategy use. Overall, the main takeaways are the following. I believe that differential preferences for the 3 navigation strategies are linked to the acquisition of route and survey cognitive maps. I also believe that the egocentric spatial updating strategy scale offers credible predictive validity with regards to the pointing tasks and the processing of egocentric spatial relations. Lastly, I recommend the use of the egocentric spatial updating strategy scale for assessing individual differences in future studies. Last but not the least, remember, as long as you're willing to use my questionnaire, please contact me.